seeing the beauty through the. Hey, you made me a believer.
Alright, welcome to On the Radar with the Anime Syndicate moderator team. I'm Matthias, and this is Juwan and Tiandre. We were supposed to have a fourth person, but they didn't happen, so we're not counting them right now. Introductions first. We've got Juwan, who is he's one of our big moderators. He's one of the founders, and his specialty is the anime news. Tiandre is another one of the founders. He's very big on the moderator side and big on the networking side, like in the real world as opposed to just cyberspace. I do networking, I do offline community, I do innovation, and I do anything that anybody else isn't willing to do. So what we brought everybody here for today to On the Radar is we're literally talking about what's on our radar, what's new, what's interesting, what you might be curious about, and what you might not even know about at this point. And one of us will pick a new airing show or something that we found and think is cool, and we'll all talk about that, and then we talk about whatever the hell we want to. So, the anime this time around was picked by T. So why don't you take it away for us, T?
Today on the radar, we're going to have the anime that's known as Katsugeki Touken Ranbu. It's a samurai anime that just came out. It's something that's ridiculously beautiful. I've been telling a whole bunch of people to tune into it that have not seen it or have not heard about it. It's a summer 2017 anime, so it's straight fresh, only about 5 going on 6 episodes. The cool thing about it though is that before it was an anime, it was a free-to-play online browser game, but obviously it was only worldwide in Japan. It was only brought through in Japan. The developers were Nitro Plus and DMM, I believe. So January 14th, 2015 was when the card game came out. The genre of the anime is going to be historical fiction and supernatural. The anime is centered around the end of the samurai era when Japan was split into a civil war between the Tokugawa shoguns and the ones who wanted to bring the imperial court back into power.
Yeah, so there's a lot of real world stuff going on here.
Basically, yeah. It's a whole historical, factual anime. So it's not, one of the ones that people just thrown together. They kind of mixed historical with, animation and ridiculously cool fight scenes.
And I think what that genre is actually called is a historical fantasy because, like, there are monsters that come out of nowhere that I'm pretty sure they didn't have those in Japan.
Right, exactly.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Hey, man, it said people always knew that there were dragons. You never know. They was getting attacked by them out of nowhere. Somebody had to draw the first one, so they had to. But the real interesting thing that I like dive in more into the plot is that it's okay. You got to bear with me when it comes to this plot. The characters are basically materialized forms of swords or weapons that were made in the past that were granted bodies in the future by a sage named Sanawa. Now, the objective that he gives them is to basically protect the past from a group known as the Time Retrograde Army from changing or altering the past in any kind of way.
So basically this series is Samurai Shinto Doctor Who.
Pretty much, that meets Doctor Who. You gotta, and then also you could even throw in the Sherlock Holmes also, because there's a lot of investigating going on.
Yeah. The swords being materialized into real beings is kind of a Shinto concept that we see again and again in anime. Usually they'll call them spirits, but they didn't this time around. But you see it all over the place. Miyazaki loved doing that stuff.
Yeah, and the only difference that I can say from what I've seen in this anime that has a diversity rather than how Bleach, where the owner was calling on the spirit and then they materialized in some way, whether it was only to them or that other people saw them in different forms. In this case, in the anime, the swords that materialize are actually their own entities, like they're their own beings, and they actually use the swords or the weapons that they are. So it's pretty cool because you see different types of weapons that were made in different eras. Let's say like a spear that was made, back in the top of the Shogun days, where it's a katana, and they would just meet together and they're like, oh, like I heard of you whenever you were made, like you were in this war, in this battle, and then it's funny to see their personalities mesh together.
What'd you like about it, Juwan?
What did I like about it? As Keandre said, it was definitely visually spectacular. Definitely on that level. Also thing I liked about it is that I thought that in like its little, what I watched, like 4 episodes, it's like 4-episode thing, it was just kind of like thrown in there, and at no point was I kind of like kind of bored. It was something always going on is what I'm trying to say, and that was kind of cool about it. But there's just so many like other parts I just kind of like, I guess, downplay it in the fact that their names. Keandre, do you even remember their names? Besides Sanawa?
Yeah, I honestly can't say other than Sanawa because of the fact that they're supposed to be like historically accurate, so their names are like super dumb long because they're supposed to signify like the different types of like swords and weapons that they are, so they're just super long.
Matt, do you remember their names?
No, not really. Their names didn't stick with me.
Like they were some out their names. I was like, okay, so this guy's this, this guy's that. It's just like, bro. Like, they were some long-ass names.
They also didn't say each other's names that often.
They didn't. They didn't.
And also, okay, a thing I liked about it is that they said they were revived in different eras, and there were way more times that they've been revived. So I'm gonna be happy about seeing like them in this time era of Japan, and then next time maybe they're in 2017, maybe they're in 2175 next time.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be something that's something like I'm gonna be excited about in the next few comings.
So do you think this is going to be one to survive the ages, or do you think it's going to turn into like the top 10 fight scenes of this anime and fade into obscurity?
Say it again. Like, I'm sorry, I had to.
Do you think this anime is going to last, or do you think it's just going to turn into a really cool top 10 fight scene compilation and disappear?
Honestly, I'm not sure how it's going to like last the test of time. Like, it is visually spectacular, but in the long run, I'm not sure how long it's going to hold up. Just because, like, in its 4-episode run, it hasn't done too much, but at the same time, they've done a lot of talking, and I'm not sure. It was fun in the 4-episode run. I don't think it's going to last the test of time. My hidden thing right there.
I think anybody that loves mystery stories is going to be in love with this show, because that's what kept me on after I was like, okay, it's pretty. Because the visuals will wear off after like 3-4 episodes, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to be looking at for a while. And then it's got to stand on other merits.
Dog, exactly right. Because just to piggyback on what Juwan was saying about the test of time, because so far right now, it hasn't done anything spectacular, but besides the facts that the scenes of it being the investigative part, but then it's like an added bonus of how just ridiculously beautiful this anime is when it comes to the fight scenes. Like, it's actually really good just because of how good the art is. And then they're introducing the new dynamic of like the close shots, the sparks flying off the swords, and then just because of the fact that the visuals are so nice that it's something that you have to stare at, it makes it hard to like stop watching it. Like, it makes you want to continue watching it.
So exactly, it looks very pretty, but I'm not sure how it's gonna take in the long game. Hands down, I got right now. It's got a 6 out of 10 for me right now.
6 out of 10. For me, on my side, I'll definitely 7.5. for me. 7.5 so far.
So I don't tend to rate things that aren't finished yet. I'll usually just say whether or not I'm going to keep watching it, and I'm definitely going to keep watching it.
Okay. So like I guess we're gonna start it back up. So who's like let's start with you, Matt, since like you didn't get really a lot to say. What's on your radar for what's to watch next?
Let's see. The thing I'm watching right now is Restaurant to Another World, which is beautiful and it's one of the few not combat centric animes that's really around right now, or at least that's super pretty. So it's basically about this restaurant that is connected to a fantasy universe while being in the real world. So once a week in this fantasy universe, doors will appear all over the goddamn place, and you can come to this guy's restaurant, and he'll cook you whatever you want to. The opening scene is of, like, you see, like, literally a huge fucking dragon transform into a human so she can go in and eat. And then, like, on her way out, she picks up a giant stock pot full of the stew she got so she can eat it in her dragon form, too.
That's ridiculous.
All the food is really well done in it. All the recipe, you will get hungry watching this show. I promise you.
So okay, could you compare it to Shokugeki? What is that anime about the cooking?
It's more like Sweetness and
Food
Lightning
Wars?
than Food Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, Food Wars. There you go.
Food
Okay,
Wars is
so-
like the shonen version of this genre, I guess you would call. Because it's all about like
action-based.
it's action and like the minutia of making the food. Restaurant to Another World is very character based.
Okay. So basically, jumping in, basically with this anime, it's gonna be more about the story of what's happening at that point in time. Like, it's not something that will have a plot after plot after plot.
Yeah, it's very episodic, but some of the things are
Okay.
connected. Like
Okay.
I think something else that happens in the first episode is you're following a treasure hunter who is trying to find out why this legendary treasure hunter she looked up to came to this town where there's absolutely fucking nothing to do, and people have like scoured it trying to find the treasure. He must have buried it. And what happened is he found one of the doors that nobody else knew about. So he just spent the last 10 years of his life chilling out and having really badass food once a week. And
Okay,
that
so
was
you
his
Tomb
ultimate
Raider.
treasure. And like as soon as she came in, the chef was like, "Do you know this guy?" And she's like, "How do you know that name?" And he's like, "You're eating this," and gave her his favorite meal.
Okay.
But there are a lot of
Sounds
really
some
touching
referencing back and
stories.
forth. Yeah, you said
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Pretty sick. Okay, and what was I gonna say? Heck, I forgot. I lost it.
As far as your anime, Matt, how many episodes does it have so far?
I believe it's up to 5. Let me check the most crunchable rolls real quick.
And what's the runtime also?
That's standard.
Okay. And basically for the same question that you had earlier, with it being not anything complex, but being very easy on the eyes type anime, how far do you see it going?
I see this turning into people's like their relax anime, or something that you watch like to feel good, or because the art is really good, the same way you'd watch like a good shoujo anime.
Okay, how long do you got it lasted?
Do what now?
How long do you have it lasted? Like, you think it's gonna go for a season, maybe 2? Maybe it's gonna be like a Naruto with the 600, with the 800?
I think
Around
it'll
there.
hit 12 episodes. I think that's the most realistic expectation of it. It just seems like it's done to be pretty and fun and tell a couple of really cool stories.
Okay.
I don't think they're
dig
trying
that.
to change the world with it. Let's see.
Don't. Come on,
Watch it end up having 5 more seasons after this one.
Oh, I would love that. It's so cool.
It's always those animes you never suspect. It's always those animes.
But like the people that meet up in this restaurant and like the kind of important people that come into it are it's just kind of a daunting story. Like in the 3rd episode, you find out that there was a guy who, by paying attention to the recipes that the chef makes, he starts a super successful food business back in the fantasy world, just by taking the techniques back over.
Okay. So he on that Kakashi business,
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
on that Sharingan, that monkey see, monkey do business.
There's 6 episodes right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at one point, like, 3 super powerful people are about to fight, and he's just like, if y'all don't stop fighting, none of y'all get to come back. Like, didn't threaten to hurt them. It's just like, y'all don't get to eat it here anymore if you're going to pull that nonsense. They're like, we'll behave.
They're just like, wait, think about the food. Do we really want to do this?
And the fight started over food. Somebody was just like, that looks delicious, and takes it off his plate.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? I would react like that too.
Yeah, that's a fight. I wish I would be eating something succulent and then somebody just, hey, I'm going to take that off your plate. This ain't jail. We fighting. I paid just like you paid for this food. Don't. That's going to be a problem. You just need to order it next time.
Something else that's kind of cool is I think Crunchyroll is super aware of this show as it's coming out, so I've seen a lot of Crunchyroll news posts with how to make the items that you see on the menu.
Yeah. Okay.
They're coming with it.
That's live.
Have y'all seen Sweetness and Lightning?
I have.
No.
I haven't even heard of that.
It's it's cute as hell. It's adorable, and it'll break your heart. So basically, it's about this.
Is that on your radar?
Well, it can't really be on my radar anymore because it's too old. You could say it's on my retro.
Retro.
It's a fire.
Hey,
But
that'll be for another video.
but yeah, Sweetness and Lightning is super cute, and it'll make you super happy. But it is sad because this guy is bonding with his daughter after her mother dies. So the mom is out of the picture, and he's bonding with his daughter through teaching her how to cook.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay, so so yeah, that's like we can start like.
It's very real.
On my retro.
Yeah. Just transitioned right there. But all right, since we came with it, what's up on your end, Juwan? What's up with your radar that's going on right now, man?
Okay, son. You ready for it?
I'm
You
not.
ready for it?
Okay, now I am. Go on.
Okay. So look, we got The Reflected. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but The Reflected, it's actually coming from, I forgot the guy's name, the Asian guy, or like whatever. But also coming from your man Stan Lee. And if you're like, if you're a relative or you know about Marvel, you should know about Stan Lee. So Stan Lee's coming with you with this anime called The Reflected. And Reflected, it's not got the best artwork, but at the same time, the artwork looks very retro and looks comic booky. I don't know how to what a better word for that is. But if you've seen some of One Punch Man, some of Mob Psycho 100, it's in that frame. Not the same animation, but it's in that universe of animation. At the same time, if you've seen My Hero's Academia, it has that same thing of people having superpowers and some people not. So basically, the synopsis is one day some storm happened, and all of a sudden, some people were killed because they were affected by the storm that they called the reflection. And at the same time, some people got killed, some people got powers. And then at the same time, people were struggling to learn to use their powers. Yeah, it does, but shit happens. Yeah. And then some people are using their powers for good, some people are using their powers for evil. It's just like, yeah, he brought it up right there. It's just you gotta be with the times and then use your powers for good and use your powers for evil. And at the same time, it only has 5 episodes, I believe, right now. So there you go, right there. I lost it. Anyway, but I think it has 5 episodes right now. It's very easy to watch and very simple in terms of characters and what's going on. But I definitely think this anime is going to go the distance. I think it's going to have at least 3 seasons. At least. And that's 2-3 years more? Mm-hmm. So
this is Stan Lee. Just right here. That's Stan Lee.
He has a cameo in the first episode. I think twice. His character, and then I think his voice. So I think it's gonna go the distance, guys. And I'm not sure if you started watching it, but I think you should definitely get on board and start watching it.
I don't know who's gonna die first, Stan Lee or freaking Hugh Hef.
I think they're both immortal.
We both are. They both got powers, man.
So, what do you think's going to win out as the superhero anime in these next couple of seasons? Do you think it's going to be My Hero, or do you think it's going to be this one?
Reflected doesn't have the backing that My Heroes has right now. My Heroes definitely winning. Like Reflected still got some power to like mosey on up there, but My Hero has one season like that it's already had. So I'm not saying the Reflected can't get there, but My Hero's like it's. I'm not saying it's not looking good. I'm just saying like My Heroes it's at full momentum right now. So like I don't think anyone's gonna beat out My Heroes in the next coming weeks, except for something that's gone the distance like One Piece.
Luffy on that ass.
So maybe even Boruto, maybe. But
Boruto, if it gets there eventually,
I think
Boruto's picking up steam.
Boruto is going to be big. I just watched the movie today, and I've been keeping up with the series. It's satisfying to watch.
Boruto's
very like Naruto's already hit it. But as I said, like that's my anime, The Reflected. That's what I got. Definitely check it out. I'm good. Tiandra, where you at?
From hearing, you know, what you said about it, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I haven't yet. Been back and forth watching Katsugeki and then keeping up with Boruto, all the other mainstream animes. I actually been watching that Classroom of the Elite. So
I want to start that.
Is that the gambling one?
No, it's not.
Because I want to see the gambling one.
Yeah, no. That's not it. The Classroom of the Elite is basically as it sounds. Well, you know, pretty much without going into super detail about the plot, it's basically just an anime about kids who get accepted into a very notorious high school that pretty much if you graduate from there, you're guaranteed a spot in any college. So the kicker is actually graduating from the high school though. So basically you can play with everything in between that's gonna, you know, imply, but that it's actually pretty good from the few episodes that I've seen, because there's some aha moments that have happened already. It's not an anime that is as straightforward as you would think, talking about like a high school, like just classroom taking tests I have to pass anime.
Okay.
It's definitely something I was already gonna check out, but like I'm gonna hit there. I'm gonna get there, man. I'm just watching some other stuff that isn't included in this video, but definitely.
Yeah.
How do I stop sharing my screen?
You gotta go to the plus bar down at the bottom. Yeah, right there, and then go to
there we go. Boom.
Yeah, stop.
It's
yeah.
gone.
There we go.
Y'all got anything else on your radar?
So what up?
I said, do y'all have anything else on y'all's radars?
Yes.
Not too much. I've been looking around, but at the same time, I haven't been trying to overload my plate right now. I've just been trying to, you know, steadily get everything that I have been watching caught up to. I'm still 2 episodes behind on My Heroes. It's like I know what they can offer, and I'm trying to get like behind so I can have like a little mini marathon and like just enjoy the entire time.
What about stuff that isn't out yet?
Stuff that isn't out yet, I still haven't even looked, to be honest. As I said, I've just been catching up. Nothing else on my plate besides The Reflected.
What about you, T?
Same, pretty much. I threw out the 2 that I've been on the past few weeks. Other than the mainstream ones, Classroom of the Elite and Katsugeki been my top priorities.
Okay. I went to an event that Crunchyroll set up to see the first 3 episodes of Ancient Magus Bride, and it looks absolutely amazing. Like the first 3 episodes, Ancient Magus Bride.
Feel like
you spell that, or
feel like that's an ultimate attack you just said, man.
yeah, right.
Go
It's
back
pretty
to that
cool.
Share screen, man. Go back to that share screen.
We're gonna bring it back up. So Ancient Magus Bride already has its it's got a manga that's out, and that's what the season that's going to be coming out in October is. But the prequel, 2 out of the 4 prequel OVA episodes are on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
But I got to see like the actual first 3 episodes of the series. They haven't even aired in Japan yet. We got the chance to see them here.
Dang.
So
Japan? If it ain't even in Japan
yeah,
yet,
it's not even airing there yet.
boy,
Damn. Yeah, they got you to preview.
yeah, you just got some CIA clearance level freaking video.
So can y'all see my screen?
You sure you can even type it in? Your computer might freaking get hacked.
Oh.
Ha!
Oh.
Let's go.
So this right here is the prequel, but the actual series will start out in October.
Well, like from looking at the just the what's it called thumbnail right there, it definitely looks like it's gonna be maybe not over the top like visually stunning, but looks like it's gonna have some kind of like visually graphic, I don't know, dopeness to it. So
I will declare you completely wrong on that. It is like Studio Ghibli quality art.
you're
Really?
joking.
It is
Wow.
beautiful. Even like I expected the OVA to be beautiful because like when they make original video animations and split them up into parts, they're always pretty. But like the anime, I expected to be weaker on the art, and it was actually better. Let's see. So when I saw this, and the reason I brought this up is that I also saw a preview for this series, Children of Ether, which looks amazing.
Yeah. That I ran across that. That's something that we'll definitely get into whenever it comes out, because that's something that looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's set in.
She got the Sharingan.
No, her eyes just red. Are you talking about the thing in the background? Yeah, I don't know who that is. There was only 15 minutes worth of preview that I saw of this one, but I know that it's set in post-apocalyptic New York. It looks like
Okay.
very like if you've seen Hachin and Michiko, it reminds me a lot of that.
All right.
What else? Ancien and the Magic Tablet looks good too. That's a movie that hasn't made it over here yet.
Damn, dog, you've been all over.
For real, I'm trying to tell you, man.
I'm
I'm mad be on that footwork.
Here we go.
Anime 2017
Anime Fest.
Dallas.
But it looks absolutely beautiful. The previews are super cool.
Yeah, it looks good visually.
It reminds me of what's it called? The other big studio right now, the one that did Your Name and Summer Wars and Wolf Children. It reminds me of that style.
Yeah, that it looks really nice. Look at that background.
Mm-hmm.
Trees
That
and
bridge.
bushes. Look at that.
Absolutely beautiful. Look at that key art.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Who's that nerd? Like,
Tasty. Oh shit.
you got some reflection going on down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get the standing bay. Okay, it's definitely something we should definitely keep on.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep on the radar, just like permanently, until that bitch comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Something
Oh.
in the magic tablet. I'm confident. I'll jot that down somewhere.
Yeah. Alright, Wall Street. That's it for me.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm sure I could have plenty more on my radar, but I think that's enough to call reasonable.
Yeah,
For
man.
sure. Okay, well, like viewers, hopefully, like you all get to catch a glimpse of this, but catch us on our next upcoming video, and then videos after. And you
Wait.
Know, what I'm saying?
If you see something, if you've got something on your radar that you think we need to know about, just pop into our group and let us know about it. Talk to us, because we want to talk to people. That's pretty much all we do.
Yeah, dude. Leave in the comment section below.
Alright, I think that's good.
Like, I guess you can cut the video after that.
Cut the video.
See the vision, boy, they must be out of focus. That's a real hot album, homie. I wonder who wrote it. Oh shit. Okay, pray to